Just gotta ask this right off the top. How are you walking still? Like, you're probably the wrestler that I'm more concerned about every time you're on television because I really think you're better. I'm like, man, oh my God, like, just the morning. How's it gonna feel in the morning?
See, I feel amazing. I always feel amazing. Like
That's great.
it's crazy. I think the years of skateboarding got me ready for wrestling because ain't nothing worse than falling on concrete.
I know.
The ring is stiff, but concrete is way worse. And I think a lot of it goes into my recovery that I do outside of the ring. What people don't see is like I'm obsessed with like recovery and like, you know, yoga and dry needling, which is acupuncture and like all these like ice baths and all that stuff. Is like I'm obsessed with it. A lot of people think I'm just like some carefree guy who's just jumping off of ladders and who cares, but like I you know, I'm really serious about like physical like therapy and stuff because I want to be as crazy as long as possible.
I think that's really important to like tell people and show people because I think a lot of people are like, oh, he jumping off and this and that. But I used to skateboard and rollerblade, and I know concrete is unforgiving. And then you feel, you know, you hit a ring and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's not as hard as concrete. It's hard, but it's not as hard as concrete. But the after recovery stuff is very important. So,
and also, I don't take any pain pills. I'm straight edge, and I don't do anything. Like, I'm just take care of yourself, like stretch, and you know, I think a lot of it is like mental.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be like mentally strong and like, because if you tell yourself like, oh, I'm in pain, like you're gonna believe it, you know. But if you do the opposite, you're like, this ain't shit, then you believe that, and that's what I've been doing, and I feel wonderful. So
that's amazing.
You'll probably see. I don't know if I'm gonna make it as long as Sting is, but I'll be around. I'll be around for a minute until I get like, you know, naturally want to do something else in my life.
There's a lot of talk about pillars, and you being one of those pillars, and you've pretty much wrestled everyone in AEW right now, right? Who now, or what now do you see Darby Allin becoming in this next evolution or stage of AEW?
See, my goal with AEW is just to get more eyes on the product. I want to cross over and connect to the alternative sports fans.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's the skateboarders or like I was at Nitro Circus a couple weeks ago and I like went down their big 40-foot roll-in and backflip the tricycle over their gap. And like to do like more of that and to be a wrestler that just isn't showing up to these events and talking like, yo, watch AEW every Wednesday on TBS. Like, I'm like, you'll see me doing stunts. You'll see me like getting down and dirty and like whatever it is. So like that's like my goal is to just like cross appeal to like, you know, fans of music, action sports. That's like my next like big step in wrestling because, you know, we have the wrestling fans. We're grateful for them. But we got to connect to everybody that either hasn't given wrestling a chance or gave up on it years ago. So that's like my big goal with wrestling because like I like to think like, you know, you flip through the channel, you see like a guy like Darby, you know, or other guys, and you're like, dang, like you ain't gonna see this on anywhere else in wrestling, you know. So creative freedom, you know, that we get in AEW, and I'm like running with that like to the max. So. And it's creative freedom in the ring and outside the ring. Because like I said, like ain't nobody else gonna let me go down a big roll on a tricycle, and you know. So that's my big goals in AEW next. Nice. Just connecting to more people that haven't gave wrestling a chance or gave up on it.
Speaking of like technical wrestling, you and MJF had one of, if not arguably the best match of the year, and it wasn't a super like, you know, crazy stunts or anything like that. It was a very, you know, technical,
beat me with a headlock takeover.
Yeah. So it's you do have that balance, and sometimes do you say like, okay, well, hey, I want to show people this, and not even show people, but for you, like I want to do this.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is when I started like training, I trained in a garage in someone's backyard. Like my trainer buddy Wayne, he had like a garage, and the ceiling was super low. Mm-hmm. So you literally all you could do in there was technical wrestle. So I would do a lot of like, we would be obsessed with like World of Sport and guys like Dean Malenko, and you know, so for the first year I never did any dives or anything crazy like in wrestling. I would just technical wrestle. So it's like whenever I get to show that, and like I said, like just balancing it out. Sometimes it's like to like remind people like, yo, like he does have his basics down, and he's not just, you know, but like I said, it just balanced things out. But it was real. See, that match was lots of fun for me. Only like a big reason that match was super important to me is with all the change in landscape of AEW, new guys coming in, whatever. So it's like to remind the fans that the AEW originals ain't nobody gonna touch us. I don't care what anyone says. That night, that was match of the night. And like I said, you were saying like possibly match of the year. Like I don't care what you give us the ball. People that are hungry, that want to show the world that like the originals are like, like that was like in that night, like we were on first and we're like follow that everybody, and it was super fun. Yeah,
definitely came off like that. By the way, and that's what we talk about to the Pillars point. I think you guys are really setting the tone of like doesn't matter who comes in, we are this company.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to come take it from us.
Yeah, no, it's fun because honestly, I love it when new people come in because I don't want to be like the big fish in the little pond. And if people are, complaining about other people coming in from different companies, I was like, maybe you're just insecure about your work rate, bro. Like maybe you don't got what it takes. Maybe it's like you want to be a big fish in a little pond. Hell no, man. Bring in the best. Bring in everybody. And I want to compete for that spot because I love competing. I love like going out there and showing people what's up. So, I invite everybody, so and there's all, so like I said, at the end of the night though, you put Darby Allin in one of these big match situations, ain't nobody gonna outshine me. I guarantee that because ain't nobody willing to go where I'm willing to go. Like I said, outside the ring, I'll do all these crazy things. Like inside the ring, I'll do all these crazy things. I feel like a lot of people just don't push it to the limit I push it. They like to play a little safe, so I'll risk it all. Thank you.